Hey guys, welcome back to Style with Substance and welcome to a little bit of a long overdue update video. I've been away from YouTube for a couple of weeks and thought that my first video back should be a life and career update. I wanted to talk to you guys about a new book that I've been reading, career related, so if you are someone who's interested in a career in marketing, this might be a good video for you to watch, and then also just give you a general recap of what I've been up to in the last few weeks. So if you like the sound of that, then please keep watching. So I'm going to start with the book that I've been reading and everything that I've been doing work-wise. So if you guys are new to my channel, you will probably not know, but I have worked in marketing, gosh, for the last 9 years, and I've kind of gone through a number of different marketing disciplines, worked in lots of different types of organisations, and both on the client side and also marketing agency side. It's been quite a lengthy journey. I've got a Marketing 101 playlist on my channel, so I'll probably link that in the description box below so you can just check out some of those and kind of catch up. But in April of this year, I landed myself a product marketing manager role, and that was with a new organisation that I'm contracting with for a year. Lots has been going on in the last couple of months. Things are really busy, a good busy at work, and I kind of just wanted to share with you guys a book that I've been reading that's really been helping me navigate my new role as a product marketing manager. So I mentioned this book in my last video, which was a Zara haul, and just kind of told you guys that I'm reading it, but I would do a more in-depth review later on, and I've now finished it. So if you didn't catch it at the end of that video, it's called Become a Product Marketing Manager and Earn $100,000 Plus. It's by an author called Decca Fraser, and Decca kindly sent me this book to read and, well, ultimately help me in my career, but also review for you guys that are aspiring or current product marketing managers. In summary, really enjoyable read. I'd kind of come across product marketing in various different forms. So in some companies, a product marketing manager might also be called a proposition marketing manager. In the retail space or fast-moving consumer goods space, the same role would be like a brand manager. And in some companies, a product marketing manager and a product manager do the same thing. So essentially, how I would define it is being a marketeer who is solely focused on the marketing efforts for a particular product. And when I talk about the marketing efforts around that product, I mean everything from market research, competitor analysis, pricing, positioning, branding, getting involved in campaign work, as well as a lot of reporting as well. So it's a very broad role, but because you're sort of focused in on normally one specific product or product group, if you're a bit more of a broader role, then it can be quite all-encompassing. So I've been doing that for a government-funded organisation. So it's my first sort of stint in the public sector, and I'm learning all about how different it is being in the private sector and sort of more commercial environment. I read this book pretty much from start to finish within a week, and I'm a bit of a slow reader because it takes me a while to take things in. It's 135 pages, so you could get through it in a day if you kind of really sat down and gave yourself time to do it. I've got some notes about things that I really liked just to kind of share with you guys. So I really like the way in which the book was split out. So it tells you what product marketing is as a starting point, talks about marketing strategy and tactics, and that's probably quite the meatier section of the book. Then it goes on to talk about interviews and soft skills for the workplace and for getting a job, as well as going into more the copywriting side of things and the mathematics that's involved in this kind of role. So it kind of covers everything, and that's why I remember when I saw the title initially, I thought, oh, that's quite provocatively titled, you know, earn $100,000+. But the interview skills and I suppose the soft skills for the workplace section is probably where being able to demand that kind of salary is really broken down and explained. And Decca does a really good job of talking to you about, you know, how to make yourself more valuable as a product marketer, and you know, the whole product marketing process and start to finish, and kind of giving you really useful resources and models that you can use in your day-to-day role. So you know what, I would say that it's not too provocatively titled, having read it now. Some of the things that he spoke about in the book that I really like, he spoke about how marketing is changing and how instead of marketers having to work with the supply chain, it's more that we're working with the demand chain. What he's referring to is really the fact that when you think about a product these days, now the development of that product and the life cycle of that product is driven by consumer demand, and that's consumer demand for it and consumer demands for what it needs to do, and how that's pretty much basically changed how people market products and people develop products, because it's all about the consumer now. He also said that, you know, that ultimately shortens like the product life cycle, meaning that a company in its, you know, in its lifetime will probably develop a lot more products than it would years before, because of the fact that people's needs and wants and demands on the things that they consume are just changing so constantly. He also gave some really good tactical ideas around like marketing and advertising creative, viral marketing, as well as how you talk about products. And so one of the things he said was around features versus benefits. So I suppose traditionally, or us traditional B2B marketers will always focus on the product's benefits, but for more technical products or for an audience who knows that product well, it's really the features that you kind of want to focus in on, which was actually something that I really took away from. In the interview section, the tips are really useful. So there was a really good segment on soft skills, and he said something about, as a product marketer, you need to be both people oriented and task oriented, and that's kind of what makes the difference as far as getting into those more senior and leadership roles. And I really took that to heart, because I can be quite task oriented, and not that I'm not a people person, because I do get along well with people in the workplace, but I tend to be focused more on a task and just getting it done and looping in whoever I need to loop in. But I think if I think about how I want my career to progress and thinking about the future, I do absolutely need to start thinking more from a people standpoint, especially if I'm thinking about, you know, line management, or that adding that kind of experience to my repertoire, as they say. So that was a really good point to take away. And then, yeah, finally in the marketing math section, he had some really good suggestions around using Google's keyword planner as a way to measure your share of voice, your brand's or your product's share of voice on search. And he had a lot of stuff in there around A/B testing landing pages, using some tools in there as well. So loads of really good tidbits. I just picked out the ones which spoke to me the most, but I would absolutely recommend that you guys pick up a copy of this if you are looking to get into product marketing, or if you're just curious about marketing and all of its different disciplines in general. I would say I'd agree with the point that he made in the book, in that product marketing is probably one of the higher paid areas of marketing. If you are money motivated, and I don't think that there's a problem with that, then definitely an area of marketing that you can look to get into. Yeah, I will link this book in the description box below if any of you guys want to pick it up from Amazon. Really good read, and thank you to Decca for sending the book to me. So that's all things work-wise. Life-wise, we are getting the flat together. So for those of you that don't know, I have recently moved in with my sister, and we moved into basically an unfurnished flat, and we've been doing it up and, like, you know, redecorating, reorganizing, etc. I don't want to film a house tour yet because we still have some things to get. So we still need to get like dining table set in the living area, and I still need to get some curtains for my room and another bedside table. So I'm hoping that I can put out that video sometime in July when I've got everything. But in the meantime, I will probably have some more haul videos, potentially with little bits of updates in here and there, and maybe some more vlogs. You guys seem to be enjoying those, and I've got some fun stuff coming up over the summer months, so I'll probably get some of that stuff in. Separate to that, just wanted to give you a general update on what I'm doing on my other social channels. So some of you may have noticed that I am no longer on Instagram or Facebook. Where do I start with that? Basically, I got to a point. In fact, let me take it a step back. So maybe 6 months ago, I was trying to like quiet my mind and do, I guess what, something similar to meditation, and I was really trying to listen out for I don't know, guidance, a voice, some sort of steer as to what I should do in this season of my life. And the overwhelming thing that kept popping up into my head was focus. Stop and focus. And I didn't take that on board immediately, but in the last few months, 2 months I'd say, I have definitely slowed things down and started listening to myself more and listening to my internal dialogue and really kind of letting that be my guiding call. I got to a point probably around, I'm going to say March time, where I just felt overwhelmed. I felt overexposed, I felt just very vulnerable. And being on social media in the way that I am, and particularly because I have to do it for YouTube, means that I'm across so many different platforms and I have to do so many different things. But it wasn't serving me. So I made the really drastic decision of deleting both my Instagram and Facebook profiles and deciding that if I were to ever come back, I'd just start from scratch and do it all over again, which came to the surprise of a lot of people. But I said, I'm going to focus on Twitter, I'm going to focus on YouTube, and I'm going to focus on me. So I did just that. Will I be making a return to those two social channels? I don't really know. I can't see that happening in the near future because I'm pretty happy. Twitter and YouTube are manageable for me. My tweets have really nothing to do with what I do on YouTube. It's just mostly my outlet for silly things like Love Island. But YouTube is something that I want to focus on, and it's something that I've always enjoyed. That brought me a lot of peace and an incredible amount of time back to be able to invest in my well-being, mental, emotional, psychological. I haven't really been investing in my physical well-being because there's that. But I have a gym membership still, so the hope's there. I'm also trying to get back into the Grown Folks podcast, so if you've been a subscriber to that, fear not. I'm hoping to get some new guests on once I figure out what new topics I kind of want to cover off. I am also in the process of drafting what I think is some sort of manuscript for my next book, but I don't know what form it's going to take yet. I've kind of got an idea in my head, but while it's all coming out on paper and I'm trying to structure it in some sort of way, I don't know what it's going to be. I also want to blog more. I want to post more on my website, so keep that in mind as a social channel. I'll always link it below. Subscribe to my mailing list so you get updates from me every time I do post on the blog, and go check out some of my older posts because there's still quite a few there, just in case you haven't seen any of those. But I'd love to do another Q&A and yeah, make it maybe like a more personal, juicy type one. So yeah, pop your questions down there if you want me to answer any in the next video. But otherwise, hope you're all well. Stay blessed, stay peaceful, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be on Saturday. Bye.